Not yet subscribe, please. Subscribe, please. Please subscribe. Niweke mguu wapi? Let us subscribe.
Kama baba kapiti karibu kutapiga nani mama sakupiga baba mama acha nimpigie simu nampigia simu acha nimpigie baba napigia mama simu piga yeye tena mimi unatarua kapi acha nipange sema ndio tarua kapi anachezea kitimoka. Mama sema na kuja kukupiga. Baba mzima simu. Amekata simu. Mama amesema anakuja kukupiga. Mama sema.
Piki pondi. Hebu niweke maji hapa. Kumwagia yenye iko kwa nini? Utafute uso wa Bwana. Haonaye kwa siri. Omba. Father Abraham. Unajua kuimba hiyo? Wanaimbanga aje? Wanaimbanga aje? Wanaimbanga aje? Nila kuuliza wanaimbanga aje unasema ati 1 2. Wanaimbanga aje? Aje. 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Hebu niweke chai hapa. Hakuna yako umemaliza? Kama umemaliza hiyo ni poa. Nasikia poa. Asibani pilau. Umekula pilau peke yako? Ndio tuletee pilau. Umetoa wapi? Umetoa wapi pilau? Baridi kwa. Baridi. Hebu jaribu kunywa. Baridi kama maji. Kama maji baridi. Si baridi? Ice. Ni baridi kama ice. Wale ice nafunga ala. Tunataka kumalizia. Redo unajifanya unawacha kumbe unamaliza, si ndio? Akachukua wapi? Ile amenele kwa wapi? Akatoka kazo akakula. Wewe unamalizianga watu, si ndio? Alileta maziwa. Kwani wewe ni pusi? Wewe ni pusi? Unaletewa maziwa? Wewe ni pusi, umekubali wewe ni pusi. Wewe ni pusi. Usimrembo. Usimrembo. Usinyao. Utaanguka tena. Wewe unaniuma. Ai wewe, acha mchezo, utaniuma wewe.
Niende.
Acha pikipiki ikuje hivi. Pikipiki ikuje hapa. Hapo. Hapo inaweza enda. Hapo inaweza Hapo inaweza
enda.
Wapi?
Tawo.
Chika. Sasa utameza na kikombe yenyewe shwari. So kunywa vizuri. Kama uja subscribe bwana. Members. Please subscribe. Please enda. Please subscribe. Now to follow kwa followers. Ona, bila ile kitabu nilikuwa nasoma iko wapi? Ile kitabu nilikuwa nasoma ile. Leta.
Atika. Ile ni Bible.
Sio Bible, kitabu.
Kitabu? Sababu amkakoni.
Amke. Chap.
Ndio yapata.
Sasa cover ndio inapatikana na kitabu yenyewe kuna. Oh. Sawa. Hebu panguza hapa kwa. Fred unasema aje? Unataka? Washa pikipiki. Washa pikipiki. Sasa kitabu inazungumza kuhusu letters. I want us just to read together. Tusome pamoja. Tulia. Nasema the Iron Man. I want just to show you how one can have faith. No, not faith, wisdom. Hekima, wisdom. Inasema in the times of kings and queens, there lived a blacksmith. His name was Joy. Joy melted metal and turned it into horse and tools for hunters and farmers. He was the best blacksmith in the kingdom. Every farmer and hunter praised his work and came to him whenever they had to get tools or horseshoes. My viewers, today we are reading a storybook, and the heading of this storybook is about the Iron Man. The Iron Man. And I like us just let us just read together so that we understand the content inside this book. Tuelewe content ambayo iko kwa hii kitabu. Fred, enda ucheze nje, wanakuita. Brighton anakuita. We want just to understand the content inside this book. Now, mhusika mkuu hapa ni the Iron Man. The Iron Man. Huyo ndio mhusika mkuu.
Huko nyuma.
Sasa enda ucheze nje. Ule mhusika mkuu, the main characters ni the Iron Man. This one Iron Man, you can see him, the Iron Man. Na other characters ni wakina, we have his wife, we have the king, and also the king workers. Those are the people that we shall find on this book. Now, as you can see, the Iron Man is there. That is the Iron Man. Now the Iron Man, his name is Joy. Now, Joy was such a fine blacksmith that every day a small crowd of people would gather at his door step just to watch him work. Joy was famous as a blacksmith, but he was very humble. He lived happily with whatever he earned during the day. Now, Smith, Joy was a blacksmith, was rich because he did a good work. But since he was rich, hakuwa anakuwa mtu wa kujionyesha. Hapana, he was a humble man. Inasema he was a humble woman, he was a hardworking. So inamaanisha pia mimi na wewe tuwe hardworking. It is a storybook, and also there is something that we are learning from this storybook. Joy was famous as a blacksmith, but he was very humble. Although he was famous, but he was very humble. He humbled himself. Alikuwa mtu wa kunyenyekea. He lived happily with whatever he earned during the day. He lived with his wife and one son. Tumepata karakta wengine, wife na son. They all loved each other very much. They had love. So pia inatufunza tupendane. Some men, whenever you start earning some money, unaacha familia, unaacha mke na watoto. But as we have learned from the blacksmith, yeye alikuwa famous, alikuwa anajulikana, but also he loved his family. Let us continue tusikie ni nini nasema. Joy lived a beautiful life. He was always busy with his work. He was a hardworking. One day, when he was busy making horseshoes, a messenger from the king's court came to see him. Joy was surprised to see the messenger at his doorstep. He was also happy because the king's messenger had come to his shop. The messenger always brought some message from the king. Now listen, Joy was working in a particular kingdom. Alikuwa mahali ambapo alikuwa anafanya kazi, it was being ruled by the king. Now one day he received messengers from the king. And he was very much happy. He was surprised to see people from the king, messengers from the king coming and seeing him. Like wewe mahali ulipo hapo penye huko, tuseme unafanya kazi hapo, unapata pole, unapata kuna watu wametoka kwa mfalme ama the president wamekuja kwako. Even before you listen to the message that they have, or you get in touch with that message, you will be happy. Utakuwa na furaha. Guys, let us invite other people, share this life, share with your friends, your brothers, your sister, ili ya kwamba tuende pamoja, tuwe pamoja. Let me share with my friends on Facebook first. So tumefika mahali ya kwamba Joy lived a beautiful life. That's good. He was always busy with his work. Alikuwa kila wakati ako busy. Joy ako busy because alikuwa anafanya kazi ya chuma, na melt chuma, anatengeneza meza, kiti, nini na nini. Now he was always happy because the king's messenger had come to his shop. The messenger always brought some message from the king. Now, the messengers who came from the king, they had a message for Joy. For example, like let me give you an example. Maybe people comes from the president. The messenger, like they are sent from the president to come to your home or a place where you are doing the work. Wanakuja na message. Now, here is the king. I like us tuendelee tukisoma pamoja. Haya. Joy asked the messenger to sit down in the shop and said, "Dear messenger, please tell me, what message have you brought?" I think this huyu blacksmith alikuwa kama like Abraham. He had a wisdom, ile wisdom ambayo Abraham alikuwa nayo, because he saw the messenger. It's like ukiona foreigner amekuja to your place, first of all, before he gives you the message, welcome him. In most cases, some of us, when we see foreigner people, we abuse them, we chase them away, but Joy aliwakaribisha. Kitu ya kwanza aliwakaribisha. Unaona, aliwakaribisha. Now Joy asked the messenger to sit down in the shop and said, "Dear messenger, please tell me, what message have you brought?" The messenger said, "There is a pleasant message for you. Blacksmith, His Majesty says that you are to go and see him at once." Wanamwambia, yani wewe umekaa tu hapo, maybe uko pale mahali pako kwa kazi, if you are a teacher pale shuleni watu wanatumwa, if you are a businessman people comes to that your shop, maybe shopkeeper uko hapo unauza, watu wanakuja wanakuambia the president needs to see you. How will you feel? You will be surprised. How? Now, Joy, first of all, he was happy to see the messenger from the king. Those who are joining us now, we are reading this storybook, and the storybook has a good content that I like us just to share. I'm reading this storybook, and the main character inside this storybook is the Joy, who is the blacksmith. The blacksmith. Now, tumeanza tukiambiwa ya kwamba Joy is a blacksmith, whereby Joy anatengeneza vitu kwa chuma, anatengeneza maybe kitanda nini sahani, anazimelt, anaunda kasahani, ana melt machuma, anaunda hata sufuria. That is Joy. And the book has told us that Joy had favor, alikuwa ako favored, watu walimpenda, watu wa hiyo mji. Now tumefika mahali ambapo the king had sent messengers, alituma messengers. Aya, inasema alipotuma messenger, the king alipotuma messenger to Joy. This is Joy. See how he's surprised. Ako surprised. And remember, EC Bible, it is a storybook. We are just discussing a storybook. Now, the messenger said, "There is a pleasant message for you, blacksmith. His Majesty, ambaye ni king, says that you are to go and see him at once. He has work for you to do. If you do his work well, you will be well rewarded." Imagine umeambiwa that president, for those who in Kenya, like William Samoei Ruto, the president of Kenya, he has sent messengers to you to tell you that there is a work, kuna kazi ambayo angependa uifanye, na ukifanya utalipwa vizuri. Like to some of us, kama mimi ningefurahia, ningesema leo nakuwa tajiri, because if you are being given work directly from the president, how will you feel? Lakini cha kushangaza, Joy hakujua ni kazi gani ambayo the king anamletea. As here, unaona Joy alipopata hiyo message akafurahia, ndio anatoka mbio Unaona ametoka mbio hadi mguu, unaona hiyo mguu ametoka mbio. Na inasema Joy was delighted to hear he would be working for the king. Alifurahia the same way mimi na wewe tunapoambiwa president ako mahali, ama hata si president, uambiwe kuna mtu mashuhuri mahali like ni tajiri mkubwa anataka uende ufanyie kazi, you will feel happy, utafurahia, utakimbia, utaenda utaenda pale mbio. So the way Joy did, lakini Joy hakujua ni task gani anaitiwa. He said, dear messenger, I will be at the palace in a hour. Let me go home and wear my best robe. Kuna kitu tunajifunza hapa. When Joy aliambiwa na messenger that the king wants to see you, he has a job to offer you, Joy went back to his home, aende avae vizuri. Hakutoka tu na zile nguo za kazi kwenda. The same to me and you. Whenever we are being invited in a place, let us please wear neatly, tunavaa vizuri, so that tukifika mahali pale tunakubalika. Haya, Joy ndo huyo anakimbia. See Joy is running to go and hurry up. His Majesty does not wait for people, said the messenger as he walked away. At once, Joy rushed to his house to wear his best robe. Alienda kwa nyumba yake kuvaa nguo iliyo bora ama iliyo mzuri. As you can see that huyo ni his wife na the son. This book has told us, nimewambia the main character is Joy, and Joy has one son and one wife. He has one son and one wife. Told his wife and son the pleasant news. Kitu ya kwanza, if you are a man, when you get a good message, please share with your partner. If you have a wife, share with your wife. If you are a lady, you are watching this video and you get a good news, please share it with your wife or with your share it with your wife. Your husband, share it with your husband. Share it with your husband. Thank you, Lord. Welcome, guys. Now, he told his wife and said the pleasant news. They were delighted to hear it. Without wasting time, He put on his best robe and hurried off to the palace, wondering what the king wanted him to do. He met many of his friends. Yeah, chai imeisha, labda upike utuletee. He met many of his friends on his way. To all of them he shouted happily, "The king was sent for me. He has some work for me to do. Wish me luck." Now he went on his way. He met he met he met the friends. He met the neighbors, and he told them about the news. As you can see, um, as you can see, is there. Now here is the king. You can see the king. King ndo huyo king, king. All of them were very fond of Joy and felt happy for him. Soon Joy reached the and was shown into a little room by the gate, where he waited for some time until the king's servant came to greet him. He was taken into the inner courtyard. There sat the king and his royal seat, wearing royal clothes and a magnified crown on his head. Now, Joy now he has reached to the king's palace. First of all, he was shown a small room where he went and sat there, a waiting room, a place where he was waiting for the king to come and give him the message that he had, the message that he had. Here is the king. You can see the king there. Now here you can see the wife. Now listen to the blacksmith bowed low to the ground. When he rose, the king said, "I have sent for you. Nimetumana. Finding it, I have sent for you. You are the most skillful blacksmith in the whole kingdom. I have special work for you to do. I believe only the fiercest blacksmith can do it." Joy bowed against before the king and thought about how he was to do the king's work in the best way possible. He thought on how he will do the king's joy work. Oh, naendelea. Huyu ni the king. Here is the king. Those are the messengers. The king clapped his hands and made servants come, carrying iron pieces of different shapes and sizes. The king said to him, "Joy, this will be the really test of your talent. You are to make this metal and change into a man." Joy was stunned to hear the words of the king. To hear the work of the king. He was shocked. Here you can see the messengers are there. Those are messengers. Guys, we are discussing the storybook. Hii ni storybook ambayo tuna discuss. We are just discussing. Leo tumeamua tu tunasoma hii storybook. Tunasoma the storybook. You can see the king. There is the king. You are the king. The king continued, the man should be a living man of iron who can walk, a living man of iron who can walk, talk, and think. You can see the difficult task that the king has given to this man. That the king continued, the man should be a living man of iron who can walk, talk, and he should also see and hear like us. No. Joy did not know what to say. He looked at the king's face to see whether this was a joke. But the king's dark eyes showed that he was very serious and expected him to do the work. He expected him to do what? To do the work. He expected him to do the work. Can you see? Angalia huyo mtu vile anakaa. The king said further, if you are able to do this work, you will be awarded 1,000 gold coins. 1,000 gold coins. However, if you fail to do it, you will be put to death at once. Joy knew very well that the king had the power of life and death over his subject, and that if anyone failed to carry out any order, he will be put to death at once. Unauliwa was to be put to death at once. That is the king. Hiyo sura. You can see this man. That is the king. That is the king. Fire. Joy was very frightened, but he did not show it. He said, yes, my king. He bowed once more, and the king's servant helped the blacksmith carry the iron to his shop. Joy followed them slowly. He was very worried. Imagine was to make a person akuwe man na akuwa anapumua, akuwa anafikiria, akuwa anaweza kumove. Imagine. He was worried. You can see they are carrying them. Huyu ako worried. That is Joy, the blacksmith. As he walked by, many people greeted him, but he was lost in the thought of making a man of iron. Everyone wondered what was wrong with the good blacksmith. He reached his shop but could not work the whole day. When he told people what the king had ordered, they too fell silent. No one could say anything against the king. Huyu ni mfalme, hakuna mtu ambaye angeongea vibaya. And also you can see Joy alikuwa na hekima, hakuongea vibaya wakati king alimwambia fanya hivi na hivi. Yeye alinyamaza. Even though he knew it is difficult, he can't do that, but he was quiet. Alinyamaza. Alifanya nini? Alinyamaza. Alinyamaza. When Joy came back home in the evening, he told his wife all that had happened in the king's palace. His wife was very clever and wise. She said, do not worry. I will think of something that will help you. Joy thought no one could help him. He thought he would die in a few days. Hakuamini mtu anaweza saidia. Now, poor Joy, none of those suggestions would work at all. He was so worried that he did not eat anything the whole day. He went back to his house in the evening. His wife at once saw that he was worried. She had thought of a plan to help him. Let me see. To help. Dunia inapita, kila kitu kitabakia. Enda ulale kwa kitanda. Enda ulale kwenda. Sawa? Enda ulale kwa kitanda. Sawa? Wewe ni mzuri. Lakini usisusu kwa nguvu. His wife calmly said, "You do not have to worry about the king's work. I am not a blacksmith, but I know of a way a man of iron can be made." Joy thought his wife was joking, so he did not say anything. His wife continued, "I know what you must do." Joy thought he listened, so he asked her to speak. To the wife, to this man. His wife said, "Go to the king and tell him that in order to make the king the kind of man he requests, you must have very special thing. You will need a special fire and water." Imagine the wife anampatia ushauri. You must have very special thing. You will need a special Go to the king and tell him that in order to make the kind of man he requests, you must have very special thing. You will need a special fire and water. Ask him to make all his subjects shave their heads and bring the hair to light the fire. Special. Joy was listening to his wife carefully. She continued, "Then tell the king that you must have 100 pots of tears. 100 pots of tears. Uh, Pots of tears." Joy was listening to his wife carefully. She continued, "Then tell the king that you must have 100 pots of tears of the king's people, since only such water can be to make a man of iron. Tell him that it is very necessary. When his wife had said this, Joy, who had not even smiled since morning, laughed loudly for some time. His wife said, "Go and say this to the king, and I am sure you will be able to make a man of iron for him." Joy thought he was to be hanged anyway, so he needed not fear going to the king. Imagine that's the wise wife. Anamwambia to go and tell the king wafanyikazi wake wote they shave their hairs, because making a man from the iron, a normal man from the iron, you must have a special fire. And also the tears, 100 pots of tears. Then can that be possible? No, no, you can see. That's the wife. He said, "I will go to the king tomorrow morning." The following morning, he left for the king's palace. He bowed before the king. The king asked, "Joy, I did not think that you will do the work so quickly. Have you made the man of iron?" Sikufikiria utafanya kazi haraka. Umeshamaliza. You can see the king is there. Now, Joy said, "My king, I need some things which are required for making a living man of iron." That is a difficult task. King is telling Joy to make a living man from iron. You can see here is Joy. Guys, today we are reading a storybook, so usishangae. The king said, "You will be given anything that you will ask for. You may go now. My servant will get those things for you." Joy bowed again and went away. At home, he told his wife what the king had said. His wife smiled and asked him not to worry anymore. Meanwhile, in the palace, the king sent messengers to all his subjects, ordering them to shave their heads and send their hair to the palace, and also to whip into their pots. The people did not dare to disobey the powerful king. They all shaved their heads and wept as much as they could into their pot. But it was not possible to collect more than 2 pots of tears or even 1 load of hair. When these results were brought to the king, he understood it was not possible to collect uh, and require hair and tears. So it means that any task that you give to your friend, you should make sure that you yourself you can do it. That is the main content, the main idea inside the storybook, ya kwamba kile kitu ambacho unataka mwenzako afanye, you should be in a position to do it. Lazima uwe in a position to do it. You can see the king also is worried, like Joy is worried. Alas, I can see that we should never be able to collect all the hair and tears that Joy needs. Send for him to come here at once," he said to his servant. When Joy was given the message, he was very frightened. His wife understood why the king had called him. She whispered something in his uh, ear, and he nodded his head. She asked him to go, saying that he would be returning home happily. Joy wondered how true his wife's words would be. With fear in his heart, Joy went to the king. He bowed to the king, and as he looked up, he was pleased to see a smile on the king's face. You can see. Joy said to the king, Joy said the king, you have asked something that cannot be done. My people can never grow enough hair to light fire, nor weep enough tears to fill 100 pots. I therefore free you from your task. My king, replied Joy, I am grateful to you, for you too ask something impossible of me.